Yo, what is up? Trev TCG coming in with a Pioneer deck for blue-red Drakes. Enjoyed this blue-red Splinter Twin, but you know, the nice thing is that there are a bunch of different ways to build blue-red, whether you want to play Phoenix, whether you want to play like Delver, go super slow to the ground with prowess creatures. There are so many different things you can do, or play like straight control. But this is just one take on it. So, for young Pyromancer, okay? A bare bones basic creature, always going to leave the tokens behind. You're never going to like realistically jam it on turn 2. You're quite threat light in this deck. You're running 10 creatures total. But yeah, so for young Pyromancer, T-Bone Creature Giant, the oppressor of the format, as it were, just so powerful. And then kind of like the mainstay, your combo piece, the 4 Crackling Drakes. Obviously, bigger for instant sources using a graveyard and exile, and importantly, if any of these gets removed, you're always either like leaving tokens behind, they've done something already, or obviously with the Crackling Drake, you're drawing a card. Yeah. Alright. Now, for spells. Got 4 opts, 4 considers, all the smoothing, all the filtering you want, and then kind of like where it starts getting interesting is removal. I've gone with 3 Firing Impulses, 3 Strangles, and diversifying a little bit. It's weird because obviously Greasefang's fallen off a little bit in how much it's getting played. So being able to do like 3 damage turn 1 and 2, not super important. Obviously getting Fire Impulse actually online to kill Greasefang on time if you're on the draw is very hard. You're kind of like, okay, you've got some other interaction, hopefully, and things work out. But still, like, a good amount of value removal, and you can type one into more answers as well. We have a Spell Pierce, how to protect your creatures. It's really nice to be able to go on turn 5, go like Drake, hold it up, or even like turn 3, going Pyrancer, holding up in some matchups. 1 Izzet Charm, kind of a catch-all. You can use all 3 modes in this deck very helpfully, and it's just really good. And then the last kind of like filling out your other your last threat is a couple of Chandras. Obviously, it's super powerful in the format, coming down with a -3 to kill things, often putting your head on boards. You have tokens for like the Pyromancer to protect it some of the time. Often you're like, kind of fine training it for a card or 2. Yeah, absolute powerhouse. Okay, 4 copies of Sensor. Sheesh. Interaction, obviously you can just cycle it, but yeah. Okay. Lava Coil is actually super important. I'm only playing 1. I have more on the sideboard. The real like the most important thing you need to kill with it is Old Growth Troll, stopping the green deck's kind of all of green's most powerful draws come from Elf into Troll into Nykthos, getting like just having a bunch of mana available on turn 3. And Lava Coil exiles the Troll. That's super important. And then lastly, kind of another catch-all counter spell with the negate. I say catch-all. Obviously, doesn't catch everything, but just some. You just want 1 hard counter that you can dig towards if you need to. And yeah. Right. And then kind of the reasons to play blue in the format. I've gone for 3 Treasure Cruise and 2 Dig Through Time. You can play different splits of this. The way I like to play isn't as all in on the combo, and so you could maybe go towards lean into Dig Through Time if you're playing more towards it. Yeah, I've gone for 3 Cruise, 3 Dig. These blue Delve spells super powerful. I don't know how controversial it is at this point that they're still legal. I think it's certainly fun, but I don't know if it's healthy long term. And it's certainly part of the reason why there's so many different variations of blue-red, and why kind of you can just like jam a bunch of blue-red cards in a deck and it'll be good. Alright, and then obviously the other half of the combo, we talked about Crackling Drake earlier. Kazil's Fury, the idea is basically you have a huge Crackling Drake, and then you sack it, and you kill them with it, and fling it in their faces. It's one of your best ways to get through, like, green. Obviously, you can combo kill, you have Dig Through Time, which you can use to find the pieces. This obviously cantrips itself anyway, and obviously the nice thing about Kazil's Fury is that you can just play it as a land. Is you're kind of like 19 through 21 lands in the deck, so you're only playing 18 actual. And then, yeah, this is your Splinter Twin combo. Woohoo. And then mana base. So 1 Otwara, kind of, yeah, playing a blue deck, so we have an Otwara. 4 Pathways, 4 Steam Vents, 4 Spire Bluff Canals. Sorry, I should move these up a bit. Then we have 2 actual islands, 1 Hall of Storm Giants, because you do like go through quite a lot of cards. Like you're gonna get to the point where you can start attacking with this. Nice to have 1, and you don't want to play too many. Your land count is fairly low. Like it is gonna play, it to play untapped a lot of the time. But you really need to make sure between this and the Spyloft Canals, you sequence well to make sure you can have your 4th land untapped for Crackling Drake, if the matchup you want to just jam it. And then lastly, 2 Storm Card Coasts. Alright, that's the mana base. Deck is very, very strong. Like there are a bunch of different blue-red decks. I think they're all fairly good. It's just like personal preference. Like some of them are like better against certain matchups. If you know the field, you can kind of tune what you want to play against. But if you're like, okay, I want to buy into Pioneer, buying blue-red cards is a pretty good decision. There's just so many different ways you can go, so many different directions. And yeah. So the actual sideboard, 1 Saheeli and 1 Niv. These are kind of extra threats. So Niv's super powerful, you get to 6 lands, it's uncounterable, just starts ticking up, you get to start doing things with drawing cards. Saheeli, you can just churn out a lot of tokens. It's like a young pyromancer that doesn't die to creature removal, which can be super strong. And then also you have the potential, if you get a construct, you make a Drake, you copy the Drake onto the console. You can like sequence this into Crackling Drake, then use one of the servos, copy the Drake and attack with it for lethal. Kind of has that element to it as well. So fairly strong. Extra copy of Spell Pierce. Abrade is a bit of a catch-all card. So the hitting artifacts. There's some really important ones. Hearse, which we'll get to in a second. And obviously like things with Grease Fang. 3 damage again, instant speed, 3 damage is actually important. Some matchups. We have more copies of Lava Coil. 2 and 3. Largely for green decks. Similar vein, we have 2 Aether Gusts. Extra Negate and a Disdainful Stroke, which comes in versus green, but also like you need to do you guys control decks. Have Fry, 2 copies of Mystical Dispute, and then this is actually 2 copies of Graphics Cage, but these should really be unlicensed sizes. I was going to play the second RCQ last weekend. I was going to borrow some, but yeah. So hey, all in all, deck's very, very strong. I would really recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing more deck decks. I like doing the old school kind of lay all my cards out deck deck stuff. Obviously, I've edited it with pictures and things. Like the first YouTube video I actually ever made was like Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck back in like 2007. Don't judge me for that. But yeah, more content coming soon. Hope you enjoyed.